and standing tall. Bring it on, bring it on. Are you ready? No matter how you try, don't you ever fall.
Thank you for staying with us. Are you aware, or rather, were you aware that there is such a thing as life clarity? Did you also know that there is such an office as clarity coach? Don't look at me like that, Alera.
Clarity. You have eyes on the side of your head? Clarity.
Well, we have a clarity coach with us this morning who is going to be telling us what all of that is about. She also happens to be Chief Executive Officer, Praiseful International. Mrs. Motolani Falabi, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Clear her confusion first.
What is clarity?
Let me look at the simplest term. It's like you wake in the morning and you need to get to a location. Say you need to get to, say, Abuja. Understanding that you need to get to Abuja defines every other thing. Or let's say you're going to Jos. It clarifies every other thing to say, how do I get there? What do I need to pack? Who do I need on this journey? Clarity is simply understanding what the end goal is. Understanding what it is that you want helps you define every other thing that you will need to achieve it. So that end result is most important. So when you're not clear of what it is you want to achieve, then you might just have been wasting time.
So I don't pack for Jos like I'm packing for Ibadan.
No, you don't. That's simply what it means.
Don't look at me. It's her. You're looking at me. That's clear enough.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that we were hoping that you'd be able to... First of all, you know, at the beginning of every year, everyone comes up with New Year resolutions, decisions. Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
By the time you get to my age, you don't bother anymore.
You're waiting for the time you get to your age. How long does that New Year resolution last in the first place? And when I asked you before we came on there, you said it lasts hours.
Yeah.
In some cases.
Yeah.
Do you agree with her on that? That so many people set New Year resolutions without clear objectives. They're just aspirational goals, right?
Yeah, I have seen quite a number of people who set goals, and like she said, by the 10th day of January, they're like, no, you know what, I can't do this. So here and year out, people set goals that they know nothing about. You know, people just want to, oh, this year is my year of, especially maybe when you go to religious houses, they just declare 1 year of something. What people have not learned
my year of achievement, my year of success.
My year of success. In what area, in what aspect? So, and you know, in Africa is where we do just 12-month planning. If, say, you're a graduate and you have a 10-year plan, to say in the next 10 years, this is the life that I want for myself. This is where I see myself being. Then you have a 1-year plan, you have a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 7-year plan that would ensure that, you know, that goal is achieved. But without that long-term planning, every year just same. So if let's say, for example, I want to, say, make 10 million. No, don't let me use figures. Say I want to run a business and I want to have had like 10 stores in maybe Lagos. I could say, oh, maybe that's my 10-year plan. What should I have achieved by year 1? Or at least I should have started a store, you know, run the business, see how it is, and then look at how I can expand. So I could say by year 1, I would have 1 store. By, say, year 2 or year 3, at least I should have had the 2nd store. I will have understand, you know, basic things about how to run even the 1st one, then learning how to expand. By year 4, I will have had maybe the 3rd one. So that way you're able to break down that long-term goal into short-term goals, and then you can plan what kind of money do I need to make to be able to run this kind of business? What lifestyle? When people talk about lifestyle, they don't really understand what it is. Your life should determine your style. You know, the kind of life that you want for yourself overall should determine everything. How you dress, what you eat, the people you meet, it should determine everything. But people just wake up and say, next year I want to make 10 million naira or $10 million. The question is, do you have capacity to make $10 million? The question is, when that money comes to you, can you even manage it? Do you have skills? You just don't wake up and hope is not a strategy. You just wake up and I hope or I wish that in the new year I become this. Let's say you want to cut down 20 kg or 10 kg. You don't wish it all and then say by January I'm going to start going to the gym, and then by day 2 you're out of the gym because you're tired. There are no consequences oftentimes when we set goals for ourselves. Understanding that if I do not go to the gym and I do not cut down on this weight, this is the consequence. This is what is likely going to happen. No, we just set goals. Nobody would beat you.
Can't I just take slimming tea? and you know, speaking to some of these issues is, you know, quite interesting. So clarity is essentially being able to determine long-term goals and breaking them down.
Yeah.
Okay. But so would that be a reason, in your opinion, why when people set goals for themselves, they don't meet these goals?
Yes. You don't. So I have met with people who said, oh, year in, year out, I set goals and I don't meet them. And then I'm asking you questions. Why did you set that goal in the first place? They set goals because everybody is setting goals, or it looks like the next thing to do at the end of every year. The people who are setting goals right now, the question is, why are you setting that goal? Are you setting goals for a specific need or for a specific reason, or you're setting goal because everybody is setting a goal? What is the long-term thing that you're working on? If you're saying, oh, I want to rise in my career at certain level, by maybe in another 2 years, I want to move to this level at my place of work. Your goals this year should be what? What would get you that role? What do you, if it's learning, then go back to school. So what your life needs is what should determine your style and your routine and the things that you do on a daily basis, not just you wake up one day. So that's why I said, if the end goal is not clear, if in 2 years I want to, get to this position at my place of work, what do I need to get there? That then determines the things that you begin to do from now.
How about?
But without that, you would just, There
are those who also say that part of the reason some people don't achieve their goals is because they don't even have self-awareness, much less have values to them, personal values that can streamline them or help them discipline themselves to achieve those goals. Is that something? Is that significant?
Yes. People, you want to, I'm going to use a professional angle again. You want to say, I want to be the best business coach that exists, or I want to be the best salesperson. What do you need? What are the values that will drive you as an individual? Values are those things that you need to put in place. Values are those things that would help you achieve those vision or that goal that you have set for yourself. So if you're saying, I want to be a professional, what are the values that should drive every professional in your space? It means that you probably need to be excellent. It means that you maybe need to be hardworking. So there are certain values that you need to set that would ensure that that goal or that vision that you've set for yourself is achieved. You just don't wake up one day and set goals and then just hope that, they will come to pass. A lot of time I don't feel like reading, but I'm in a space where I get to read. It's not because we don't do what is convenient. You do what is necessary, what is needed for the future that you want. So I'm just not reading because I need to read. I need to learn. I need to know. There's constant need for this. You need to be able to take responsibility. I was laying on my bed last night and I felt, I had a very long day. I'm so tired. I need to go to bed. But then I remembered I have not read today. I stood up, I took my book and I read. Because it's required as a responsible person for the future that I have ahead of me. It's necessary that I do certain things. And so responsibility would be part of my values, because I cannot say I won't do this because I don't feel like. It's not by my feeling. Oftentimes people give up so easily because, I don't feel like doing this. There's one quote I saw: amateurs do once in a while what professionals do every day. You want to be a professional, but then you want to do certain things when you feel like doing it. No, it doesn't work that way. There has to be a level of work that you need to put in.
To buttress that, I'll use my passion, lawn tennis. Somebody asked, how can I become a professional tennis player? And the coach said, you have to hit 1,000 balls every day for 15 years before you can become a professional.
1,000 balls
every day.
Every day is how many minutes?
15 years.
Or hours?
Yeah. Well, just hit 1,000 balls. If it takes you a whole day, it's fine.
You can't say today, I'm tired today. I don't feel like hit. Then you don't want to be a professional.
How about I hit 5,000 in one day and rest for the next 4 days?
No,
don't even answer that.
Okay. Do you make New Year resolutions?
I do.
And do you keep to them?
I do. Because what I do is not an annual thing. I have an idea of what my next 10 years, who I want to be in 10 years. So I'm asking, if I want to be this in 10 years, who should I or what should I have achieved in the next 5 years? What should I have achieved in the next 2 years? What should I have achieved in the next 3 years? So there is a plan. So my year one could be, this year is learning. If I want to be a professional in a field, what I'm doing year one will probably be learning. Who are the people who are already dominating that circle? I'm reading their books. If they have
if possible, you're meeting
conferences, I'm reaching out. I'm learning everything that I can. Then I'm looking at how then can I put into practice all the things that I've learned. Because for you to be a professional in the field, it's not just by you learning, it's by how much you have used all the things that you have learned. So by year two, you're then maybe networking. What are the meetings that are out there that these people who are in my field are in? So it has to be, like I'll go back to, it has to be a long time. You can't be year one, next year, it's my year of prosperity. Okay, it's vague. Oftentimes what I see is people said vague goals. I said, but I'm clear about it. You know, when I started working in my organization, I came in as a PA to the then CEO of the organization. I just felt, one day he mentioned in the meeting and said, I would want, one day I want somebody who would take over, this business. I would need to maybe pick the CEO from within the organization, or I would need to hire someone from outside. And then I said to myself, what does it take to be a CEO? Immediately, I went online.
That was the goal.
Yeah, and I started, making researches. I read every book that he had written, listened to every teaching, go everywhere that he's going, so that I am able to, I understand how he thinks. I can teach what he teaches. Of course, his person comes into how he teaches it, but I understand a lot of things. And after a while, I told him, I want you to mentor me 1 hour every day. It wasn't convenient for him, neither was it convenient for me. I was asking 1 hour to just be asking questions. So sometimes he says, I'm not available today. Just send in your question. I would, respond because I want to understand. And I was asking questions. I was going online reading about people, female CEOs, male CEOs, everything. And I was looking at the skills. I'm not a very put together person. I can be everywhere. But then I realized that, man, this part of my life I need to learn to be organized because it is needed for the future that I want. So I had to plan and work on those weaknesses and then elevate the strength that I have, figured out with me, taking leadership training, reading books, learning emotional intelligence. How do I get people to, get the job done? Even as I run the organization, there's some certain things that I do not have skills for, but I'm learning. So if I hire you as a copywriter, I might not be a copywriter, but I understand a little bit about copywriting because I have articles, I'm reading about what it takes. So when you give me a content, I look at it and say, no, this is not good enough. Not because I can do better than what I can write, but when I see this is not what I want, this is not good. I don't necessarily need to know how to take pictures or, get videos out. But when I see a good video, I say,
you know it.
This is good. This picture is blurry. So it has to be intentional. So when somebody would be needed to run the organization, I'd put in the work. Some people say, oh, you're lucky. No. Yeah, maybe, but I put in the work.
One of the things that a number of people would reference in the year gone by, ending tomorrow, is the economic challenges that came with it, and which is responsible for a number of setbacks that some people have had. So on the one hand, you're saying that, one of the reasons that people's goals don't get attained is because it's too short term. Some other people will be saying, look, last year, even if I didn't achieve I achieved 50% of the goals, but this year I'm only able to do 10% or 15% or 20% and all of that, simply because of certain setbacks occasioned by economic challenges. How significant is that in the mix of what people are able to achieve or not able to achieve? And how do you think they can scale up from that in the year ahead?
Sometimes we do not have control over certain things, and these economic challenges could be one of them. One of the things that I have done is to look at what the economic situation would be in coming years, so that you're able to plan ahead. So it doesn't come and you're like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. But let's say peradventure this had happened. You still earn the same amount of money, but your salary can no longer foot the bill or can no longer deliver on the things that it can. People need to learn to cut down. You cannot continue to maintain that lifestyle when your income is still the same, and of course the economic situation does not allow for you to live that life. So you would begin to eat into your future, and you're not able to do all the things that you want to do because you have not learned to cut down on some of the expenses. So we have 3 cars in the house. Everybody's driving out with the car, looking at the fuel price right now. Why is everybody going out with 3 cars? Why can't I drop you off? And then when I'm coming back, I'll probably pick you up. Right now in my house, normally you want to drive out to get bread or something from the store, you drive down. It's just about 2-3 minutes walk. Nobody's driving down anywhere. Or you want to get to the mala, maybe on the street, to get some vegetables. You want to drive down. All these short. In fact, it's now exercise. There is no point driving, to this distance when we can actually just take a walk and stroll and just while we walk down, rather than just driving. So you want to take a look at what are the things that I need to cut down on. What are the other things, other ways I can make money? Life adjustments. Yeah, you need to be able to adjust. As a business, one of the things that I realized was when I just go online and check, based on the economic situation of the country right now, what are people likely going to be buying? I realized that a lot of people would focus. There was a statistics I saw that said 60% of people's income would go to feeding. So I don't sell food. So what happens is I only have 40% of their income to work with. So people who are in the food business, they would thrive more, they would do better, because a lot of people are just focused on, let me just eat and be okay. Then the question would be, what then do I need to do as a business? So you want to look for the people who, regardless of the economic situation, they have your money. So you want to look at getting new clients, new leads, to say the people who would buy from me before. And other times I just give a discount to say, really, this is not what is most important to people right now, but they need it. What can I do to assist them? So if I am able to say, let me do a huge discount, I get more people who are buying, not because it's convenient, but they know that they need this to move ahead. It's just some basic adjustments in the lifestyle. You're able to accommodate whatever the economic situation, and then you don't want to focus on just one income. If you have a skill that you currently use in your business, can you teach other people, to use a skill, and then you're able to also get money, and that way you're
But the other people are competition to me. So why would I want to build up competition?
I don't see it that way. What I know how to
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
If I teach you to do it, I am learning every day. You don't have my experience. You don't have the number of time that I'd put into the work. That I teach you doesn't mean that I'm not still good at what I do. And I look at it from the angle of, especially in our field, the world is already in chaos. A lot of people need help. So if I teach you and you're able to help other people, why not?
Okay. But I might teach you and you get me out of business. You become better than me and I'm out.
That would then be your responsibility to ensure that you keep learning. You need to keep learning. People would get better. But there's something that nobody does anything that I do better than I. My person is in what I do. We could be teaching the same thing, or we could be selling the same thing, but I have a uniqueness to what I do and how I do what I do.
You have a USP.
Yeah, there's something unique to me and how I do it. I'm not bothered about how, somebody's going to take business. If you keep evolving as a business owner, you keep evolving as an individual, there will always be competition. You focus on you and what you can do better.
Competition is good for business anyway.
You begin to think about how else you can do it better.
We're out of time, but I want you to quickly speak to this. All of these conversations we've had about clarity, perhaps those who are aspirational in regular employment would be looking out for it. How about young people who just want to have fun and they want to, as that young man said, blow. They just want to be everywhere. They want to achieve and all of this. So this whole life clarity thing is like, look, let's live today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. What do you say to them?
Tomorrow doesn't just take care of itself. Maybe they should ask their parents. Tomorrow doesn't take care of itself. When you're fresh out of school, you want to be clear. I was fresh out of school. I did accounting. I worked in the bank. I was there for a few months. I knew that that is not what I wanted. The work was too monotonous. I do the same thing every day. And I said, no, this is not what I wanted to do. And I had planned ahead. Sometimes it might not be exactly clear what it is that you want for that future, but be clear what you will not take up. I knew that I was not going to. I wanted to build a career path. I just was not picking up every job. So when someone telling me there's a job here, no, that's not what I want. I might not be clear of that future at the time, but I know what I don't want. And I wasn't picking it up. And I knew that there was a lot of effort that I need to put in place. I just would not think that the future would
Some will say
take care of itself.
Some will say you're saying that because, you are not poor, you're not from a poor home, you don't need money every day.
I'm not from a...
Okay. Anyway, that's another conversation altogether. Possibly we'll take this up some other time. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Motola Falabi is a clarity coach. Now you know what clarity is. And the CEO, Praiseful International. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. When we return, it's time for the home stretch. Okay? And our guest is on this video you're about to see.